A team of South Australian scientists led by Flinders University's Rachel Popelka-Filcoff is using technology designed for the mining industry to analyse the mineral content of pigments on ancient Aboriginal artefacts. Mineral pigments have been used for centuries by Indigenous Australians to paint elaborate designs on boomerangs, spears and other objects of cultural significance. Yet the analysis of these pigments without destroying the artefacts can be extremely challenging. Now, in a world first, Dr Popelka-Filcoff and colleagues from the South Australian Museum and the South Australian Government have adapted a system originally designed for mining applications to study the pigments using a non-destructive infrared technique. Dr Popelka-Filcoff says the research can tell investigators about the technologies and materials that Aboriginal Australians have developed over millennia and continue to use today.
This is a ochre and other natural mineral pigment decorated shield originally from Queensland, and this is one of the objects that we have been studying in our recent research. So for the study we used an instrument called the high logger, which is an near-IR spectrometer. We have a portable version of that instrument here today, so this one allows us to take a point-by-point analysis giving a spectrum that looks something like this. Each one of these features represents different spectral features of the minerals, and therefore we can get a point-by-point analysis and allow us to identify the minerals on this object. When we use the high logger instrument, we essentially have the near-IR spectrometer above the object. A table goes back and forth carrying the object underneath, so we can essentially get a visual and a spectral map of point-by-point analysis of this object. Right, the technology that we used does allow us to analyze and get a lot of information completely non-destructively. And that, of course, is very important when you're working with any sort of cultural heritage, because although you do want to get some of this analytical information, you obviously don't want to damage the object, and this new technology, or this adaptation of the mining technology, allows us to do that.
The proof-of-concept technique has been tested on boomerangs, shields and paddles from the South Australian Museum, with the research already uncovering mixtures of previously unknown mineral components.
And the reason that it's very interesting for this type of work is that we adapted a technique which primarily has been used in the mining industry for characterizing different minerals, and what we've done is applied it to Aboriginal Australian objects. The larger goals of the project are the first characterization of natural mineral pigments found on Aboriginal Australian objects such as this one. And we have a whole series of questions about these pigments, including the technology, how they were made, how they were applied to objects such as these, also such as where they originally came from and how they were exchanged between groups.
Work is now underway to optimise the technique, with potential extensions to the analysis of stone tools and ceramics from cultures around the world.